Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Joel here with as many reviews as possible, and today we're doing the review of the Reebok CrossFit Nano 6.0. So every year, everyone always says, "Oh, this is the best Nano yet," and of course, that's true. But it wasn't until this year where I actually really agreed with it. Usually, the Nano 2.0s are my favorite shoes, but every Nano has had some kind of upgrade that has made it better than its predecessor. Sometimes the upgrades are incremental, sometimes the upgrades are huge. This time I feel like they really hit the mark with the Nano 6.0. There's no doubt about it that this is probably one of the best performing CrossFit shoes at the moment. The Nike Metcon 2 is a great shoe. The NoBull trainers are a great shoe. And I really think it just comes down to what shoe fits your foot best. If you have used Nanos before and you like the way that Nanos feel, then you will no doubt like the Nano 6.0, unless you had a really wide foot, in which case you probably like the Nano 3.0 or the Nano 5.0 because they're somewhat of a wider shoe compared to the 4.0s and the 2.0s and the now 6.0, also the Speed TRs. The shape is basically the same thing, so if you had any kind of fitment issues, like with your Morton's toe rubbing up on the front of the Nano 6.0, then you'll probably have to size up half a size. I wear a size 9.5. The Speed TRs I wear a size 9. Nike Metcon 2s I wear a size 9.5. NoBull trainers I wear a size 10. Performance wise, the only real differences that they made with the Nano 6.0 are the Power Launch toe box, which is essentially just a more fitted toe box that has an optimized amount of room for foot splay, but not too much like the Nano 5.0, which was a little bit more wide in the toe box. You've also got the mesh that goes pretty much all the way around this front area, and that allows for a little bit more flexibility when you're moving around, running. You've got this polyurethane rope guard in the middle, and the drop now is back to a 4mm drop, which is kind of like the optimal heel-toe drop when it comes to CrossFit shoes. You'll see a lot of major shoes use this drop. The platform is just as stable as it's ever been. I've squatted up to my max in the Nano 6.0s without any troubles. Usually I'll use an Olympic lifting shoe if I'm going to go up towards 400 pounds, but with the Nano 6.0s, I pretty much got there just using these shoes without hesitation. And I do it again. I actually prefer flat shoes to squat in nowadays, so this is going to be my preferred squatting shoe. Olympic lifting is just like pretty much all the Nanos before. You're not going to really notice the 1mm differential compared to the 5.0 and the 6.0, but every movement, every box jump, every burpee, pretty much everything that you can do in the shoe feels excellent, stable. The landings are great. The power delivery is excellent, and I would highly recommend these shoes if you're looking for any kind of serious training shoe. The Nano 6.0s should definitely be at the top of your list. Now, comparing the Nano 6.0 to the Nike Metcon 2, both are excellent training shoes. The Nike Metcon 2 still has the TPU heel clip, whereas the Nano 6.0, for some reason, they did not include that. Nanos are a little bit lighter than the Nike Metcons, but really it just comes down to what you prefer and what fits your foot a little bit better. The Nike Metcons have more of a pointed toe, and I really like that about the Nike shoes because my feet don't rub up into the front of the shoe. Now the NoBull trainers are more of like the same fit of the Nike Metcon 2s, but they blend the more of a minimalistic feel of the Nano than the Nike Metcon 2. Is it a better shoe than the Nano 6.0? I'm gonna say no. I like the NoBulls, but my big issue with the NoBulls is that this toe area slopes up a little bit, and it actually kind of pushes me on my toes, or allows me to go on my toes. So in that regards, I would take the Nano 6.0s over the NoBull trainers. Unless you, of course, you really like the NoBull trainers, or the fit was more of your style. Now the Speed TRs are still one of my favorite shoes, and I think these are excellent shoes. But if you're gonna do anything super heavy, then I would still recommend the Nano 6.0s over the Speed trainers. Once again, depends on your fit. The Speed TRs also have a little bit more midsole cushioning, so if you needed to have a shoe that was a little bit more cushioned, then I would go with the Speed TRs. The Nano 6.0s are definitely one of the more comfortable nanos that I've worn. Coaching in them, pretty much doing everything. Running in them is actually a little bit better just because they're a little bit more flexible. The cushioning is just about the same, but the flexibility of the shoe allows it to be a little bit more comfortable to wear when you're like coaching and just walking around casually. Now, the Nano 6.0s retail for $130, which is no different than the Nano 5.0s when they first came out. Before that, the Nano 4.0s, 3.0s, 2.0s were $120. If you have a pair of Nano 5.0s, you like your Nano 5.0s, it's probably not worth upgrading to the Nano 6.0s. It's a better shoe, but it's not anything that you need to spend money on. If these are going to be your first shoes, then $130. It sounds steep, but you're going to be doing a lot of work in these shoes, so you owe it to yourself to have a nice CrossFit shoe. Now, compared to all the other shoes on the market, $130 is pretty much the same thing. So it just comes down to preference on what kind of shoe you want, aesthetics of the shoe. But the Nano 6.0s are definitely worthy of your money. These are definitely one of the best CrossFit shoes, if not the best CrossFit shoe at the moment. And I really liked the Nike Metcons. I'll still continue to wear them, but the Nano 6.0 is just an excellent performer, and you really can't go wrong with this shoe. If you guys want to read exactly what I think about the Nano 6.0, please visit asmanyreviews.com. And as always, guys, please hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.